Welcome. Today's 30-minute flow is going to be about having affirmations for yourself, knowing that you are capable, knowing that you are able, knowing that even when you mess up, it is for the greater good, that you are learning a lesson from whatever it is that you are working through. As always, you can set whatever intention you like. That's the intention that I am moving through this flow with. With that in mind, come to the top of your mat. Sukhasana, easy seated pose. Rest your hands at your knees and find your Ujjayi breath. Seated cat and cow, moving through your spine, successional movement, hollowing out your belly, bringing your navel to your spine, activating your core, allowing your head and chin to fall down gently to the chest. Reverse, originating at the pelvis, arching, letting that arch continue through your spine, lifting your chin high up, stretching your throat, and opening the chest. Take some gentle head circles here, allowing your ribs to float above your pelvis, circling the head, taking the ears as close to the shoulders as you can, allowing the weight of your head to stretch the front of your throat, and circling around, stretching the back of your neck, letting your chin come towards the chest. Reverse that circle, allowing the ribs to float freely, arching, contracting, engaging the core, letting the shoulders shift as needed. Take your hands from the knees, walk the right hand out to the side, and lift through your left body half as you walk that hand out into a side stretch. Right elbow is seeking the mat. Take your gaze up to the top hand and gently reverse, reaching as you inhale up through that left arm, sending it to the opposite side. Reach through your right arm as you inhale up to the ceiling, walk the left hand out to the forearm, left elbow seeks the mat. Look to your top hand, the right hand. Inhale and rise upright. Lower the right arm down. Inhale, both arms up overhead. Rotate to the right side. Place the right hand behind the right hip and the left hand outside the right knee. Lift up in the spine. Look over the right shoulder. Inhale, raise the arms up here and rotate through center to the left side. Exhale and place the arms down. Left arm behind the left hip, right arm to the outside of the left knee, excuse me. Looking over that left shoulder as you sit up nice and tall. Inhale, feel the lungs up. Exhale, soften, only in the core slightly, but keep lifted. Inhale the arms up overhead, return to center. Exhale, lower the arms down. Coming to standing at the top of your mat, Sun A and Sun B. 3 Sun A, 2 Sun B. Find your mountain pose and Ujjayi breathing. Inhale the arms overhead, gaze overhead. Exhale, forward fold, hands to the mat, gaze to the belly. Inhale, halfway lift, gaze forward, hands to the lower leg or tip of fingers to the mat. Exhale to Chaturanga, lowering the body down, stepping or jumping through bent arms. Inhale to upward dog, gaze out, focus forward. Exhale to downward dog, hips to the ceiling, gaze to the belly. Hold 3 breaths. Find space between the shoulder blades, lengthen behind the knees. You can pedal the feet here. Heels do not both have to be down at the same time if that doesn't serve you now. Final breath, rise onto the balls of the feet if you choose. Exhale, send your gaze forward and soften the knees. Inhale, step or jump forward to halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, gaze to the belly, lengthen behind the knees, hands to the mat. Inhale, arms overhead, rise up, focus overhead. Right into the next set. Exhale, forward fold, gaze to the belly, hands to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, gaze forward, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step or jump back, bend the arms in chaturanga, lowering yourself down, elbows by your sides. Inhale, upward dog, open the chest, hands directly under shoulders, roll the biceps back. Exhale, downward dog, send the hips to the ceiling, straighten the arms, gaze to the belly. Hold 3 breaths. Ears are between the shoulders or in between the arms in this pose. Try to bring your elbows to face your knees. Final breath. Rise onto the balls of the feet. Exhale, send the gaze forward. Inhale, step or jump forward, halfway lift, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold, straighten the knees as much as possible, hands to the mat. Inhale, rise up to mountain, gaze and arms overhead. Exhale, right back into forward fold for our final set. Gaze to the belly, hands to the mat as much as possible. Inhale, halfway lift, send the gaze forward, lengthen the spine, come to fingertips or lower leg with the hands. Exhale, lower to chaturanga. You can step or jump, arms are bent, lowering your body to the mat, knees hover. Inhale, upward dog, gaze forward, hands under shoulders. Exhale. Exhale, downward dog. Gaze to the belly. Hold here. 3 breaths. You can play with your balance here as well, lifting one leg or the other, opening at the hip. Final breath. You may rise on the balls of your feet if you choose. Exhale, soften the knees, send your gaze forward. Inhale, step or jump forward into halfway lift, lengthening the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, hands overhead into mountain. Gaze overhead. Exhale, hands by your sides, preparing to go into Sun B. Inhale, sit into chair pose. Feet are together. Weight is over the heels. Arms up, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold, lengthen behind the knees, hands to the mat or lower leg. Gaze to belly. Inhale, halfway lift. Extend the gaze out in front of you, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step or jump back into chaturanga, lowering that body. You can extend one leg if you so choose. Inhale to upward dog, shine your heart through. Push into those hands, finding balance between them. Exhale to downward dog, gaze to the belly, hips to the ceiling. Inhale into warrior one, right leg forward, left leg rooting through the outer edge. Arms swing overhead, gaze overhead, square the hips. Exhale, lower down into chaturanga. Gaze forward. Inhale, upward dog, gaze out. Open the chest, shoulders over hands. Exhale, downward dog, gaze to belly, hips to the ceiling. Press into the heels. Inhale, sweeping arms up into warrior one, left leg forward, right heel down. Gaze with thumbs overhead. Square hips. Exhale, lower to chaturanga. Gaze forward, lower the body down. Inhale, upward dog, open the chest, gaze forward. Exhale, downward dog, hold. Gaze to the belly. Play here as you need. Do what suits your body. If you need to take a child's pose, go ahead and do that. Third breath cycle. Exhale, you can soften the knees, send the gaze forward. Inhale, step or jump into halfway lift at the top of the mat. Exhale, forward fold, gaze to the belly, hands to the mat or low leg. Inhale, sweep the arms up as you sit in chair, weight over the heels, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, bring the arms down as you rise to mountain. Inhale, last sun beast, chair pose, weight over heels, sweep the arms up, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold, gaze to the belly, hands to the mat or low leg. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine, fingertips to the mat. Exhale, step or jump back, chaturanga, lower the body down, elbows by your sides. Inhale into upward dog, knees are hovering. Open the chest, gaze forward. Exhale into downward dog, gaze to the belly, hips to the ceiling, pressing the heels as close to the mat as you can. Inhale, sweep the arms up, right leg forward into warrior one. Square the hips to the top of the mat, gaze to your thumbs overhead. Exhale, chaturanga down, gaze forward. Keep your arms by your sides. Inhale, upward dog, gaze forward, heart shines through, hands pressing into the mat, lifting up in the shoulders. Exhale, downward dog, gaze to your belly, hips to the ceiling, pedal through the feet as needed. Inhale, sweep the arms up in left warrior, right leg is back, heel grounded, arms overhead, hips squared, gaze overhead. Exhale, chaturanga down, arms by your side, gaze forward. Inhale, upward dog, heart shines through. Exhale, downward dog, send the hips back, hold here 3 breaths. Straighten those arms, strong and straight, spinning those biceps, allowing the elbows to face the body. One more breath here. Inhale, step or jump forward. Halfway lift, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold, gaze to the belly. Inhale, chair pose. Weight over the heels, arms overhead, gaze overhead. Exhale, straighten the knees to mountain, arms by your side. Inhale to high lunge with your left leg back, right leg forward, arms overhead, gaze overhead. Stay a breath. Square the hips to the front. And as you transition, you're opening that left hip into warrior two. You can send the foot even further back, arms opening to front or back. Gaze is over the right leg, which is bent. Knee is over heel. Knee is also tracking over second and third toes. Center your weight. Ensure that you are upright and strong. A total of 3 breaths. We're on the 3rd breath now. Inhale into reverse warrior, sending that left hand down the left thigh as you reach up with the right arm. Gaze to the thumbs of the right hand, getting length in your right body half. Do not press on the knee. You can go to the lower leg or the thigh of the left leg with your left hand. Stay here, 2 more breaths. Exhale, lower the arms back to regular warrior 2. Rotate with both feet to face the left side of your mat parallel. Widen into wide leg stance for a forward fold. Hands to the hips. Inhale. Exhale, bring the crown of your head as close to the mat as possible. Release the hands to the mat. They'll be in line with your feet. Bring the elbows in and lower. 2 more breaths. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, deepen your bend. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, deepen your bend. From here, Bend into your right leg, Skandasana. Root through your left heel. The toes can come up. Right knee is pointing forward, which is to the left side of the mat. And don't fall in with the left leg. Support by rooting on the outside of the left foot. Inhale, return to wide leg forward fold, releasing crown of the head towards the mat. Holding one more breath. Inhale, lifting upright, pressing your body upright, hands to hips. Rotate to face the top of the mat. Turn the right toes out to face the front and then the left. Pivot and rotate, pivot on the back foot to high lunge. Lower the body down into low lunge, go into your vinyasa. Stepping back into chaturanga, lower the body down. Inhale to upward dog, opening the chest. Exhale to downward dog. Inhale to halfway lift. Send your gaze forward, lengthen the spine, lengthen the backs of the knees as much as possible. Exhale to forward fold. Gaze to the belly, hands to the mat. Inhale, reach the arms up, come into mountain. Exhale, bring the arms by your sides. Center yourself with your Ujjayi breathing. Inhale, go into high lunge with the right leg back. Left leg forward, arms overhead, looking at your thumbs. Exhale, settle. Inhale, rotate the back leg so that it's turned out about 45 degrees and maybe step back further into warrior two. Left arm front, right arm back. Gaze over the left hand, bend the left knee. Torso upright. Really allow yourself to deepen that lunge on the left leg. Knee is over heel. Knee is tracking over second and third toes. Gaze is tracking over middle finger of the left hand. Total of 3 breaths. This is the third breath. Inhale into reverse warrior, lifting the left arm up. Right hand slides down the back leg, rooting into the back edge of the foot. Hand can go to the right thigh or right lower leg, but doesn't rest at the knee. Deepen that stretch, reaching through the left arm all the way up. Gaze is on that hand, opening your left obliques inside. Don't allow yourself to sink into the right side. Keep everything lifted and long, tailbone down. One more breath. Exhale, bring the arms back to T. Inhale, pivot to face the right side of the mat, squaring your hips and toes, pointing to the right side. You may widen your stance. In the T, your wrists are over your ankles in this position. Bring the hands to the hips. Exhale and forward fold over your legs, bringing the crown of your head as close to the mat as you can. Release your hands to the mat. Put them in line with your feet. Wrap your arms so that your elbows are pointing behind you, in towards the body. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, deepen the stretch. Press into the outsides of your feet to ensure you're not rolling in medially on your knees. Support your knees. Keep the outsides of the legs strong. Last inhalation. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, lunge into the left knee. So left knee is pointing straight ahead, which is to the right side of the mat. Root the right heel down. It's okay if the toes lift. Put your hands directly in front of you to support you in Skandasana. 2 more breaths here. So body is over at this point. You're leaning forward as you bent into that left knee. One more deep breath here. Inhale, return to wide leg, forward fold. Allow your body to melt over. Hands in the center. Inhale, come upright. Hands to the hips. Rotate towards the front of the mat. Left toes turn open to the front of the mat, and right foot follows, squaring your hips to the front of the mat, ball of the foot, arms overhead in a high lunge. Hold here for a breath. Gaze overhead, arms overhead. And lower yourself down into a vinyasa. Upward dog. Pushing back into downward dog. Here, we're going to lift the right leg up. Inhale, lift up, toes pointing down, and lower to your forearms, dolphin. Slowly let that leg float down. Walk the feet out to a forearm plank. So from dolphin, just allow your feet to walk right out. Keep supporting yourself on your forearms. Transition that left forearm to be parallel to the top of the mat and open up your right body half so that your right arm is reaching to the ceiling and you're on side plank, left side. If you need to come to your knees, you can do that, but make sure you're in a straight line from your shoulders to your knees. Don't let your hips fall back of yourself. Reaching that right arm up, gaze up. You're going to scoop with that right arm and almost give yourself a hug, scooping in between the space of your shoulder and your hips, allowing your upper body to twist gently. Rise back up again, reaching towards the ceiling with the right arm with your gaze, and then scooping that right arm underneath the right rib. One more time, reach up, and slowly lower yourself back into forearm plank. Repeat on the opposite side. Turn that right forearm parallel to the top of your mat. Coming onto the outside edge of your right foot for a side plank. Again, bending the knees if you need to modify, keeping them in line with your shoulders. Extend your left arm up to the ceiling, gaze up to the top hand. Contract and scoop in that left body half, bringing that left arm through the space between your armpit and hip. Extending back up into side plank, reaching left arm to the ceiling. Contracting and scooping that left body half, giving a gentle twist of the spine. Reaching back up. And then lowering back down into forearm plank. Lift the hips, walk the feet into dolphin. Hold here 2 breaths. Parallel arms, parallel hands. And slowly adjust your hands, coming into the edge of your arms so that your hands are bound. We're preparing for bound headstand. So interlace your fingers, thumbs up, pinkies to the mat. And gently place the crown of your head on the floor as you walk your feet in, as close to your body as possible. Stack your hips over your shoulders. Try and get a nice straight spine as though you were up against a wall. You can stay here, or if it's in your practice, bring one leg up at a time to find yourself in bound headstand. Hold for 3 breaths. If you are in headstand, slowly lower the legs down. Press yourself onto your forearms for dolphin. Press from your forearms to your hands to go into downward dog. Exhale, lower the knees to tabletop. Take a cat and cow cycle. Inhale to cow, lifting tailbone and chin. Exhale to cat. Belly to the spine, spine to the ceiling. Tuck at the ankles and sweep the legs through to a seated position, Dandasana. Feet flexed at the ankles, hands pressed into the mat by your hips, lengthening the crown to the ceiling, nice straight lines like the letter L. Soles of the feet to the mat. Walk yourself back into a supine position. We have run out of time, so we are going to go right into Shavasana. It's going to take a seated spinal twist. If you have time to do so, you would simply bring that right foot by your left hip, bent at the knee, thigh to the mat, cross your left foot over, inhale, lift the left arm and take it to the, inhale, lift the right arm, take it to the outside of the left knee, sitting up nice and tall, looking over the left shoulder with the left hand kickstand. And then you would do the same on the opposite side. If you are also out of time, simply walk yourself back so that you're laying down and walk the feet out to the edges of the mat. For your Shavasana, you're welcome to take whatever props you may need to support you, whether it be something behind the knees, the head, the lower back, and simply scan your body, willing it to relax as you breathe deeply, sending that nourishing Ujjayi breath to all the muscles that have worked so hard during this practice. At this time, you're welcome to turn off the recording to get a deeper Shavasana that is uninterrupted. For the sake of this recording, I have to cut it short, unfortunately. Inhale and start to bring your awareness back into your body. Fingertips, toes. Take a nice deep stretch. Inhale and gently roll to your favorite side, resting your hand on your bicep. Other hand in front of your heart center. With the eyes closed, gently help yourself to an upright position. And gently into an easy seated posture. Fluttering your eyes open, raise your arms up overhead on the next inhale. Exhale your hands to heart center. You've made it through. You have done beautiful things with your body. You have been consistent in your practice. Celebrate that. You owe it to yourself. Thank you for joining me today, this practice. You honor me by allowing me to support and guide you, and you honor yourself by showing up. Namaste.